Hello and welcome to my home kitchen. I'm Chef Tony Baker and today I'm going to show you how to prep artichokes. Alright, let's get started cooking these bad boys. You need water, so we're going to fresh draw some water, pop in there. Vinegar, I've got some cider vinegar here. You need acid in the water and that helps keep the artichokes a nice light colour. Pop that vinegar in there. You want to heavily salt the water. Any green vegetable, a little rule of thumb by the way, green vegetables, anything that grows above the earth should be cooked in boiling water. Anything grown below the earth should be brought up from cold water and to the boil. You want to protect the colour and the integrity of the vegetables when they're grown above the ground. So notice I'm putting a lot of salt. That helps preserve the colour. Keeps it nice. Splash of olive oil. Olive oil is a nice shine to the outer part of the artichoke. It's not real necessary, but I like to use a little bit of olive oil. Now, we'll put some recipes on the website, but you can add things to this liquor that will change the flavor, increase the flavor, whatever you like. I like to put garlic in the water. You can change it up from vinegar to lemon juice or red wine vinegar. Everything's going to give you a slightly different characteristic. By putting a bulb or two of garlic, a whole bulb or two of garlic, a lot, into the broth, that really comes through into the artichoke and really helps, gives it a nice flavor. But you don't always need that. Okay, I'm going to set this on the stove. We're going to get this rolling to a boil while we're prepping our artichokes. Okay, now let's get started. So, take our large green globe artichoke, and first we're going to trim the top, about an inch off the top, okay? Again, sharp knife, hold the artichoke very firmly against the cutting board, and then let's trim that top of that bad boy off there. Look how pretty that is. Okay. Now, doesn't hurt if you're really worried about the presentation and you're doing some fancy dinner. You might want to rub the tops with lemon juice. I'll just demonstrate that. And the reason being, artichokes will oxidize, and so this keeps them nice and white and stops them from discoloring. Do the same on the bottom. Just trim that last little bit off. It kind of gets dried from being cut in the field. Rub that with a little bit of lemon juice. Take off those bottom couple of thorns, leaves. Okay. Now we're going to snip with our scissors. We've got our good scissors. We're going to snip those thorns off. Also, this gives a nice restaurant-style presentation. Cleans it up a little bit. And you certainly could get away without doing any of this and just pop it in the pot. But you know, we want them to look nice in addition to taste good. Okay, is that all of them? Looks that way, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay, and that's it. Look how simple that was. It just took a minute, didn't it? And this is ready to go into the pot. I'm going to go ahead and trim a few more of these up while our pot's coming to a boil, and we'll just pop these in the pot in just a few minutes, okay? Okay, so we're going to get ready and cook our artichokes. Here's our beautiful artichokes all cleaned and ready to go. And we're going to just pop these bad boys into our boiling water. We've got our water, remember, with the vinegar and the olive oil and the salt. It's heavily boiling on a big rapid boil. Pop them in, be careful not to splash. Now there's a little trick here. We want to keep these artichokes under the water. We don't want them to, they can't cook if they're floating on the top, and they get big brown rings if you're not careful. So we're going to squish them down. Oh, that one don't want to go down. I'm wiggling around here a little bit. Squish. I'm going to put a lid. See how this lid? I'm going to put it upside down. I'm going to pop that in there, and then I'm going to do a cunning little trick. I have a mixing bowl here with water in it, and that's going to weight that pan lid down and keep those artichokes under the water. So we're going to set our timer for, let's see, 35 minutes. And there we go. These large chokes, about 35 minutes typically. And we're looking to get them nice and tender in the stem, and so we can pop those leaves out, and they'll be ready to go. Delicious. So come back in 35 minutes and we'll be ready to eat artichokes. Good. Okay, while the big guys are cooking away behind us there, we're going to cook some small artichokes, the baby artichokes, the creme de la creme. These are great in a salad or tossed in a pasta, and the nice thing about them, you eat everything. So we're going to prep some of these bad boys. Really simple. Top, tail, ½ inch off either side, and then just pull some of these outer leaves off until you get down to those nice young tender white ones underneath. Look how beautiful those are. Okay. Okay, here we have our small artichokes, our baby artichokes. They're all cleaned, ready to go. Our pot has got our water, salt, vinegar, olive oil, all roll into a boil. So we're going to pop these in. Be careful they don't splash and burn you. Okay, remember our little trick? Here's our pan lid. I'm going to pop this guy in there and keep the artichokes below the water line. We're going to set our timer to about 20 minutes and check these after 20 minutes and come back and make sure they're perfectly cooked. See you in 20 minutes. Okay, so our timer just went off. It started beeping like crazy, so that means our artichokes are ready, or at least they're ready to test. So here we go. We're going to turn off the gas, remove our mixing bowl. That seemed to work out quite well. And then using a nice long pair of tongs, we're going to take our pan lid out. You see that there? Great. Notice how I'm holding it upside down. That means the water can drain out from the center. Okay, I'll set them onto a tray. Now the way you check to see if these done, just give the stem a little squeeze. Now that feels, I don't know if you can see that, but it's giving. It's you can squish it slightly, so that works out quite well. Now pull one of these leaves and it should pull out fairly easily. Yep. That's a perfectly cooked artichoke. So we're going to take the rest of these out, setting them upside down on a tray, and allow them to drain and cool. Okay, so our baby artichokes are ready. Our timer just went off. I'm going to pop out that lid that I used to keep them weighted underneath the water and set that in the sink. Careful, because it is hot. Now our artichokes, we're just going to drain these guys. I've got a colander set up in the sink, and we're just going to tip it in there and drain off all that liquid. Now I had these guys in there for about 20 minutes and they're cooked beautifully. They're just tender to the stem and they have a nice color, and these are going to be delicious to eat in a pasta or salad. Deep fried even. You can bread them and deep fry them. They're delicious that way. And like I said before, the whole thing is edible now. Okay, so we have our baby artichokes. Gosh, they look delicious. And one little step you can do just to finish these up and clean them up and just improve the presentation just a tad is just to scrape away the outer part of the stem. And then you can quarter them or slice them. I think quartering them is a nice presentation. And that's great to hop into a salad or into a pasta dish. And remember, all of this part is edible. These leaves are just tender and just beautiful. Okay, so that's how to cook baby artichokes and large artichokes. I'm Chef Tony Baker, and this is it for today. Remember, feel good about what you eat.